Hey, my name is Ashley Tapley, and I'm super ecstatic today to be sharing three new boundaries that I will be setting that is essential for my spiritual, mental, and emotional growth. The first boundary that I'm going to be setting is limiting social media to 2 hours per day. I do run a business from social media, so I am extending myself just a little bit more time instead of just 1 hour. This is going to be a digital boundary, and the reason why I'm setting this is because social media can be draining and it can detract me from meaningful real life interactions. Reducing screen time will overall improve my mental health and productivity. I can implement apps such as screen time or digital well being to set these limits, and I'm going to schedule specific times throughout the day to check my notifications. A barrier that I may face is just the difficulty of breaking the habit of scrolling when I get bored or the fear of missing out. But the way that I'm going to break this barrier is just by replacing the scrolling with a productive habit. I'm going to be journaling, reading my Bible, taking notes, all the good stuff. And then I'm going to remind myself of the mental health benefits of limiting screen time. The second boundary that I'm going to set is saying no to events or favors that overwhelm my schedule. The type of boundary this is an emotional boundary, and I feel like this is something that I have to set in my life because overcommitting to things actually just leads me to stress and it dilutes the quality of my energy for essential tasks and relationships. I'm going to practice politely refusal phrases such as I would love to help, but I can't commit to that right now. I'm also going to use a planner to evaluate my ability before agreeing to a request. A barrier that I might face is just the guilt of telling other people no or the pressure to accommodate to what others need. But the solution is going to be to remember that saying no is actually a form of my own self respect. And I'm going to seek support from my husband or my mom or a very close friend to reaffirm those decisions if I begin to feel overwhelmed. The third boundary that I'm going to set is I'm not going to answer text or phone calls from friends after 7 p.m. every evening. The reason why is because I need time to focus on my priorities, self care, and recharge for the next day. This is a time boundary, which is going to help me to avoid distractions in the evenings, which is going to help me create a predictable routine that's going to foster my mental clarity. This helps me to recharge myself for the next day and helps my ability to maintain connections during those appropriate time frames. A barrier I feel as if I may face is my friends may feel ignored, or they may feel as if there's a lack of interest or a lack of care, which is absolutely far from the truth. Although my solution is going to be that I'm going to explain this boundary is a form of my self care. It's not going to be about them. I will emphasize that we have time throughout our day, every single day, to chat and catch up. And I'll explain that we can schedule times earlier in the day to chat. This boundary isn't about cutting anybody off, but it's just about carving out the time that I need essentially for myself that is going to be productive. So my boundaries may be a process, and it's okay for me to adjust them as I need to. But I'm committed to protecting my well being through thoughtful choices and setting appropriate boundaries for my personal growth. Thank you so much for listening.